Are we okay? We got the fucking... We've got to do the fucking shit that we for fucking drug abuse. No! Are you listening?
Sean here. We know Lorne Armstrong is trapped in middle school. He never got out of it. Some people never get out of high school like we talked about. He never got out of middle school. A lot of stuff he does just makes me question my sanity on why I listen to him, because it's madness, and it's maddening. Occasionally we get raging Lorne and crying Lorne, and those are great. But most of the time we get a guy who doesn't understand social skills, social interactions, social boundaries. He doesn't understand how normal people function. A Casey call we listened to in TCAP Gaming, one that you are all no doubt familiar with, is the one where Lorne keeps poking her and prodding her about her childhood sexual trauma. But we're going to get into that. First, we're going to talk about the fact that this man doesn't understand what defending someone is. As adults, when we, quote, defend someone, unquote, we do it logically and rationally, and we point out facts. Lorne, he doesn't understand what defending someone is. You've heard him say it, especially to Ramona about the doctor, especially to Casey about her dad. The problem is that in 7th and 8th grade, girls especially, if they didn't like someone, you're not allowed to like them, or you can't be their friend. Later on, boys would develop this wonderful trait. But we're talking about 7th and 8th grade girls right now. If you like her, you can't be my friend. You point out one thing that they do nice. Oh, she was very nice to me today. Stop defending her. I'm just pointing out that she was very nice to me today, and she helped me carry my books because I sprained my wrist this weekend. I'll do it. You don't need to be around them. This is stuff that happens in the mafia. It happens in gangs. Yo, you can't be around him. I say that because that's my friend Mike Parker. White as hell. Well, he was my friend a while ago. And Nicky, who got shot because he couldn't stop running his mouth. They all thought they were in the mafia. But Mike was so nice to me. And no one told me you can't be friends with him because we're not friends with him. But Mike, he would tell his people, yo, you can't hang around them. And he was white. Yo, you can't hang around them if you want to be a part of this gang. You can't develop an adult relationship, or at least a relationship with someone, because they did something to me. And if you want to be a part of this group, because I'm the leader, you can't talk to them or be around them. It's just childish all the way around. Another issue with Mr. Penis is that if you point out that someone else did something heroic or someone else did something above and beyond, he expects you, he is so jealous and so childish, yeah, that's the key word for today, that he's going to expect you to point out something about him that you may not even know that he did. The doctor saves people's lives, and Lorne is angry because Ramona didn't point out anything that he did, because, let's be real, Ramona only knows abuse. How are you going to go, oh, Lorne, the way you answered the phone today and you didn't yell right off the bat? While I'm thinking about it, I want to point out the fact that Lorne Armstrong would be in jail multiple times if he had ever had sex. He told Winnie one time, I'm trying to learn this shit too. I don't want to make you sad. I want to make you happy. He pointed this out, proving he never had a relationship. And we know that if you say hi to him, he's going to stalk you. I just wanted to point that out, because that's another 7th and 8th grade thing. I'm sure Lorne tagged along. Just more proof of how his brain works. And it's still in 7th and 8th grade. But we're talking about Mr. Penis tried to tell Ramona that the doctor saving lives was the same thing as Lorne moving stuff around at Uncle Clay's. I believe it was Uncle Clay's. Quite honestly, some of those calls I just kind of block out because they are rage-inducing. How can you possibly compare somebody saving lives to moving dirt around and helping out at someone's trailer? But in Lorne's head, Why didn't you say that? Because you never told me anything. You never asked me anything. Lorne, I did ask you. And you know what you said? Yeah, how about Uncle Clay? I've been in every state. I never said that I've been in every state because he doesn't remember the lies he spouts. But you can't hang around somebody he doesn't like, and you can't give them a compliment without giving him a bigger compliment. But the problem is he's a piece of shit, and you can't give a piece of shit a compliment if all they are is a piece of shit, an abusive one at that. Something else that bothers me is his through the grapevine mentality. The logic he uses, it's unbelievable. Last night, he was talking to Casey, and I'm going to mention something first. He, in the middle of Casey, trying to tell him he doesn't have the right to tell everyone about her childhood trauma, Lorne makes up some bullshit. He mentions there's no proof, and I know why he said this. He makes it up. Well, I've never told anybody this, but I'm going to tell you because I trust you. You're so special. Put it this way, my sister was molested by my dad. Think about Lorne Armstrong just now using that. He would be using that with everyone. He couldn't keep his mouth shut about Casey's sexual abuse. So why would he keep his mouth shut about his sister's bullshit sexual abuse? I don't believe him. I know you're supposed to believe the victim. Yes, if the victim said it, okay, but this is Lorne. So Lorne said it. He would have used it as ammunition, and we know. He told Casey, it's your dad or me. That's right, your dad or me, just like doctor or me and all of that, we talked about it. But he was upset because he thinks that sexual abuse as a child is actually sex. I don't know, I think there was some bull crap about her being a sex toy and a sex slave, and Chris Hansen and all this other crap, and Lorne just ate it up. Told her that Xavier was real, more proof he's an idiot. Here's what I think happened, and I think Lorne was jealous. He gets jealous of every woman around a penis. I believe his sister and his dad may have had some kind of loving relationship, and Lorne, being the disappointment that he is and the clingy little punk, he didn't have a relationship with his father. But he claimed that his dad molested his sister, because God knows if you've got a penis and they've got a vagina, it's sexy time. Something that makes me rage, and I hope it makes you rage. He told Dan, according to Lorne, he just kept making up excuses, but the one that stuck, she was angry at him for telling about her sexual abuse, and he goes, well, you were cheating on me with Dan. And she's trying to tell him it's not your secret to tell. And Lorne says, well, I told Dan because you were cheating on me. One of the biggest reasons he didn't have any friends, I'm sure, is that he couldn't keep a secret. If he liked a girl, and that girl was talking to other boys, because at the time they were boys, Lorne never hooked up with the girl. He never got a date in junior high or high school, which is why I think part of the reason why he wants to hook up with younger girls to prove a point. Also, he's a sick pedo, but we're moving on from that. He can't keep his mouth shut. If you have a secret, everyone will know that secret. Say a girl had a deformed toe or irritable bowel syndrome, something that would be embarrassing for her, or that would sound embarrassing. He would let the whole school know, especially his friends, and you know how young boys are. They will torture and torment you if they've got something over your head. And Lorne, he's still that way. If he thinks he has something that he can hold over your head, it's getting thrown in your face. She forwarded an email to Winnie. Debbie did. So then he calls Debbie back. I know you just forwarded an email to Winnie. He wants to be in everybody's business. He has nothing, no friends. In junior high, he's that guy, the one who told everybody because he felt slighted. So to tell Casey, and he also used this logic, well, you talk to Emma, and Emma talks to Dan, so Dan must have already known. I can't imagine as an adult, I'm going to use my sister, tells me, I don't know, something is wrong with her bladder, and I'm just making this up, and she had to wear a diaper for a month. And I would just go around and tell anybody, well, you're my sister's friend, so she must have told you. He wouldn't accept responsibility for that because it seemed normal to him. And also, he's an asshole, but he wouldn't take responsibility because he's not capable of taking responsibility. In real life, if you shared somebody's intimate secrets like that, they are gone. They're not your friend anymore. They're definitely not your significant other. So Lorne, in his head, he felt slighted. He also didn't understand that it's not his secret to tell. He wants that importance. He wants to feel like he's important. I'm the one sharing this information. Look at what I knew that you didn't know. 7th and 8th grade garbage. Lorne had some developmental issues. I do know that. But the fact of the matter is, she's caught up in some bullshit. Lorne did have developmental issues, and I'm sure his mom was speaking to the teachers, and I don't know what they called them back then. I don't know if they were guidance counselors back then. I think maybe they were just the school counselor. I don't think they had all of this stuff that, my son deals with and other kids deal with, where they have special exceptions and not necessarily special needs, as we used to call them. The kids who would ride the short bus, which I still don't like using that term, though we did. My God, some of the guys would call them window lickers. And I'm sure Lorne would too. He uses names like he's in middle school. The smallest slight against him, and he instantly spouts some of the worst language you could use. I also think he was the kid in junior high or middle school, it was junior high for us, who heard a curse word. Yeah, I said curse word. Okay, boomer. Who heard a curse word on the playground, and he would use it to get attention. He would take his little broken wee-wee out and swing it around. Look at me, look at me. He needs that attention, and he'll do anything to get it. Anything. Tell secrets. Use language he probably shouldn't. I mean, he's calling women cunts to their faces. Even we, as young boys, knew you never say that word. And if you did, you don't need to be around women. Yeah, they would say it for effect. I don't think Lorne says it for effect. I think he was told or thought, or maybe he just doesn't care. Thinks that it's normal. That's how you speak to women. We all love the part where he's crying, "That fucking cunt." The language he uses just screams fucking save. I do that all the time. It just screams a kid that's on the playground that desperately wants attention. I'm sure if a girl didn't like him, which was all of them to be honest, that's why you're being an asshole to me, fucking asshole, cunthole. He still thinks there's such a thing as boyfriend-girlfriend, like they're holding hands on the playground, and we're broken up, we're back together, I'm gonna hang up on you. These are all traits of somebody who's immature, we know this. But to think that your relationships are still like playground relationships tells us a lot about him. It tells us that he never grew up, and that he's caught in that time period. He never developed relationships past 7th and 8th grade. Now, he may had one of those playground girlfriends, I guess you would call it, where they see each other on break and they talk, and that's about it. Because I had one. You giggle when you see each other. Sometimes we didn't even talk on break. We just smiled at each other, and it was the most childish thing in the world. But that's him, which is why he gets infatuated so easy. You showed me some attention, we're boyfriend-girlfriend. I told you about all the other stuff I know that he has. But we're talking about 7th and 8th grade middle school and his mentality. He'll never get out of it. Everything he does is middle school. None of it's high school. He didn't even graduate past then. He's not even mature enough. Like I said, he's had some developmental issues. I don't think he's had the best care. I think Mama Gwen was fed up with him. He would throw temper tantrums, I'm sure. The way he interacted with his siblings as an adult was middle school. And I just think anybody in his path is going to deal with it forever, and he'll never grow up. That's my morning video for the day. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.